Hey you guys, it's Peter, and I'm back. Of course I'm back. I'm not going anywhere. Boost! Peekaboo. I see you because that was a good one. I'm YouTube famous now. Available Easter 2024 and a half BC, the album. It is 2024 and a half, isn't it? When's Easter? April? April, May, June, July, August, September. Ah! Wait. Available. Good Friday. 2029 and a half BC, the album. Dad. Shimmy. And rock on, gold dust woman. Peace. How are you guys doing today? That fan flip was so good that it makes me want to do another one. It does. It makes me want to do another one so bad. But I'm kind of afraid that if I do, because it was getting it, wasn't it? You can get it, okay? Yo, Janet, I'm about to get this. You want this, but do you really think that you can get this? No. At first you dissed us. Now you want to kiss this. Tell them, girls. Too late you miss. I can't even get the words right on this. Too late you miss this, because we need a man that's swift, quick, and clever. That's me. Ready at the drop of a dime to do whatever. Not trying to front or fake to save face, because I'm with that day, anytime, any place. Tell him, Jay, you want this? Oh my God, you're not even on the list. I am the list. Peace. Anyway, my icon hat's sitting over there. I wore my icon hat yesterday for the video. People were like, a couple people were like, oh my God, I don't think people understood. It's not the exact hat that I used to have. I don't know how you couldn't tell that by how ridiculously it sat on my head, because that's why I never wore that hat before, because I didn't like it as well as the corduroy hat. Okay, but then people were like, oh, I miss the corduroy hat. And then people were like, oh, we should like put a fund together for you to buy. If I could buy another corduroy hat, I would. You can't find them anywhere online. I cannot find that corduroy D-squared icon hat anywhere online. Trust me, I've looked, okay? I would buy it again in a heartbeat. I can't find it anywhere. So anyway, how are you guys doing today? I have all these lip glosses, lip balms. It's a lip thing. To the one person out there the other day that when I said that, I said, if you know who it is, put it in the comment section below. And they said Sandra Bernhardt. I was like, oh, we are kindred spirits. But anyway, when it is a Thursday, why not a bracelet? Do you ever just feel like a bracelet? Sometimes I feel like a nut bump. Sometimes I don't. Do you guys remember that commercial? Why is my brain all of a sudden being flooded with commercials from back when I was a kid? Like, he'll eat it. Mikey will eat anything. Mikey likes it. Peace. Anyway. Sometimes I feel like a nut. Sometimes I don't. I really want to use the powdered donut lip gloss, but I know it's so distracting to people that I can't use that one. So instead I'm going to use the Magic Mermaid. People think these are big lip glosses. You obviously haven't seen big. Okay, let me show you big. But I have got because if I was going to show you big, I would show you the big lip glosses that I have, like the Twizzlers and stuff like that. How are you guys doing today? Oh, I think this is the wrong one. I don't know. You know what? I don't know which one's the right one. We're just going to use the lip smackers. But today we're going to talk about Gabby Hannah. Hi, Gabby. She's speaking in tongues these days. Well, she's not speaking at all. Everybody's worried about her. They don't know where she's at. I like that, but it's a little too oily. Back in the day when I was a kid, I loved that so much. But anyway, I still do. Oh, it tastes so good. But it's a little bit too much juice, you know what I mean? Anyway, put my fan. What is that? Why is the light shining on? What is going on? Where's that light? That's the magic light. I have no ring light. Where is that light coming from? Do you see that? Is that my phone? It's not my phone. What is going on? Oh my God, that is scaring me. Don't do that. Where is that coming from? Is that coming from the camera? I'm so confused. Anyway, let me tell you about the last 24 hours of my life. Okay, this is probably hair on my lip, probably from those Jacqueline hair lipsticks. Don't worry, they're completely fine. They're just fuzzies from Blue Gloves. Anyway, I am in a really good mood today. Can you tell? Okay, so last night, well, first of all, my friend Tanya Jean, like 2 nights ago, she texted me, because we were talking about TV shows, and she was like, sometimes I don't feel like a bracelet, but this bracelet's kind of getting on my nerves. So anyway, she said to me, so we were talking about TV shows. I was like, because I just finished Dark Winds. For those of you that do not know, I have an entire channel dedicated to TV shows called Peter Watches TV. Yesterday I did my 1,000-Pound Sisters recap. Today I don't even know what I'm going to do. Okay, I have like 14 videos over there to make. But anyway, Did I say Sister Wives? I do a lot of Sister Wives over there too. So anyway, all the trending shows I cover over there, react to them. I'm having so much fun on that channel. So anyway, I was talking to my friend Tanya Jean. I just finished Dark Winds, and I was like, and Dark Winds 2 seasons is out. It's on Netflix. It started on AMC, and then the 3rd season's coming out in 2025. Fantastic mystery thriller. So well done, based on the Tony Hillerman books. So I was telling her, because she had watched it, and I said, I need another show like that to binge that is like, I cannot stop watching it. So she was like, I don't even really know because we watch all the same shows. And so when I got off the phone with her, she texted me and she said, have you watched Found? And I was like, what is Found? So I looked it up, and Found is a show on Peacock, okay? Well, I don't know where it started, but it's on Peacock now. And the 2nd season just came out on Peacock. Peacock renewed it. And so it is so good. It is so good. So I'm like 5 episodes into it right now, but I kind of can't stop watching it. But last night I wanted to watch some scary movies. So I have a list of movies that I want to watch for Halloween season, new ones that are coming out, like Terrifier 3. My friend the other day, she and her husband watched Terrifier 1 and 2 together, and she had already seen him, but he hadn't seen him, so they were going to the movies this weekend to go see Terrifier 3, and so she was like, he was catching up on him, and she's like, I think that Art the Clown is so funny, and I was like, oh, you do? I don't. I think that Art the Clown is terrifying. He is the Terrifier, okay? And he scares the hell out of me. So anyway, I mean, if you saw that clown, I told her this. I said, if you saw that clown standing over your bed, she goes, I'd laugh in his face. Well, sure enough, she woke up that night. Guess what? She texted me about 4 o'clock in the morning. She said, I'm having nightmares about that clown from the Terrifier movies. I go, oh, really? Oh, I thought he was funny, is what you said. But anyway, so last night I was like, I'm going to watch some movies, because I'm pretty much caught up on all my shows already, except for The Golden Bachelorette. So last night I watched Survivor, okay? Caught up on Survivor. And they're already not playing a very good game, okay? Don't you love when you watch it at home and you think you could do so much better, and then they get on the show and they go, it's so much harder than you think it is. But you wouldn't make the same stupid mistakes if you were on the show. They're making stupid mistakes. But anyway, so I watched Survivor, and then I was like, should I watch The Golden Bachelorette? Because I love this season of Golden Bachelorette. Don't tell me who got kicked off this week. I don't want to know, okay? But if it was Mark or Jordan, those are the 2 that I'm, or Chalk. I'm rooting for Mark, Jordan, or Chalk, okay? Those are the 3 that I'm rooting for. I don't even know why they had Gary Jerry on there. Do y'all know what I'm talking about? Okay, so from this is the Golden Bachelorette, but on the Golden Bachelor, he was from Indiana, too, okay? Everything weird comes out of Indiana. They don't make us look good here at all, okay? I will never forget back in the day watching that show, Cops. It was like one of the very first episodes, and they pulled this girl over or something like that, and she's running away from the cops to the woods, and she was from Indiana, okay? One of the very first episodes is from Indiana. And she's got those shoes that, like, when you step on them, they light up. And she's running from the cops trying to hide in the woods, and her shoes are lighting up. And I'm like, this is so Indiana. We are such a bunch of idiots up in Indiana, okay? We are a bunch of idiots in Indiana. Every serial killer has some connection to Indiana. What was I watching the other day? Love on the Run, Jailbreak. Oh, they ended up in southern Indiana. Everything. I was watching that one about the 17 wives of that guy. He was getting life insurance policies. I did coverage of all of this, by the way, over on my Peter Watches TV channel. That one guy that had 17 wives, he lived in Indiana for a while. Everything connects back to Indiana. But anyway, oh, Gary Jerry. That's what I was talking about. So Gary Jerry, I call him Gary Jerry because his name is Gary, but it's spelled Gerry, and he said that was the German version of spelling Gary, but then a lot of people that watch my videos that are from Germany, they said that's not the German way to spell Gary Jerry. I don't know. Is it the Finnish way to spell it? I don't know, okay? Is it the way that you spell it in, I don't know, Charlotte, North Carolina? Is it the way that you spell it in New Jersey or Chicago? Or, I don't know, is it the way that you, I don't know, how Florida, California, Indiana? I don't know how you spell Gary, but I call him Gary Jerry, okay? So Gary Jerry was on there to, what's her name, Joan, to give Joan advice. And I'm like, Gary Jerry, you married Teresa for her money. We all know that. You lied on the show. A bunch of shit came out about you afterwards, okay? Bachelor Nation didn't sign a contract with you for probably until you're dead. And so you now are going to be in every episode of all these shows. So he comes on there to give, he's like, Art, can I ask you one question? And she's like, yeah. And he's like, are you sure that the man that you're looking for is here? And I'm like, he is so hitting on the Golden Bachelorette because he thinks that they're going to, it's like the Golden Bachelor's going to marry the Golden Bachelorette. I'm like, you didn't want her to begin with. She's so happy she got away with you. So I'm rooting for Chalk. I like Chalk. And I didn't at first. I thought he was kind of boring on the Disney date, but I like him now. I like Chalk, and I like Jordan from Chicago, and I like Mark, who is Kelsey A's dad from The Bachelor with Joey. I'm so part of Bachelor Nation now, but you know what got me hooked on Bachelor Nation? Was really Bachelor in Paradise, is really what it was, okay? People are like, why don't you make these videos on your Peter Watches TV channel? Because I got too many videos to make on my Peter Watches TV channel to talk about a bunch of bullshit, okay? And I got about 5 minutes to talk about Gabby Hannah, so I'm going to talk about Gabby Hannah for 5 minutes. I'm going to fill this video with a bunch of what I want to talk about. That's why, okay? You aren't even on the list. I'm the list. Anyway, so attitude check. F you. That's where people say I yell at my audience because their sense of humor is like in 1985 and they sit in a room all day long. I don't know, looking at AI artwork. They're so confused about it. We're going to speak about AI artwork today because I was confused about what I saw. Oh, so last night, I was so excited because Caddo Lake was coming out on Max at 3 a.m. So I was waiting for it. And so I was like, well, what should I watch in between? Well, I'd run all these movies by my husband. He didn't want to watch none of these scary movies. So I wanted to watch Strange Darling. Have you guys heard about this? It's supposed to be like the movie of 2024, like the scary movie, okay? And so it's about the serial killer. I'm not going to tell you anything about it. I'm not going to ruin about anything like that, okay? Even if I do a reaction on my Peter Watches TV channel, I'm going to do like spoiler-free one because it is like a must-see. But it is not for the kids. I will tell you that right now. It is not for the children. But it's about a serial killer and somebody that's on the run from a serial killer and somebody that's trying to catch a serial killer. It is the photography. Giovanni Ribisi is the actor from back in the day who I love. He's actually like the director of photography on it. I mean, the photography is incredible. It is filmed in such... I did not love it at first, and I thought this is very predictable, and it was, at the end of it, the last 3 minutes are just, like, the photography and the acting. I was, like, seriously, like, I say this, and people are like, oh, no. I think this movie's up for some Oscars, okay? As a scary movie, I think it's up for some Oscars. So I watched that last night. I liked it so much more than I thought I would. Strange Darling. So anyway, I had to pay my $19.99 on Apple TV to watch it. But then Caddo Lake came out, okay? Caddo Lake... Well, to be honest with you, I would never recommend it to anybody. Okay, it was the worst hour and 44 minutes of my life. But Caddo Lake is basically, did you watch that show? Oh, that took place in Germany. Dark, I watched that. I really liked that show, but it was over and I still didn't understand what had happened. It's 3 seasons of Dark shoved into an hour and 45 minutes of a movie that takes place in Georgia. That's what it is, okay? And it's so confusing, it doesn't make any sense, but I love the cast. That Lauren Ambrose, I love her so much. But anyway, so I watched that last night, and then I watched an episode of Found, and then I went to bed very, very late last night. So anyway, that's what I did last night. And researched intensively Gabby Hannah. So let's talk about Gabby Hannah. Okay, so this TikTok came up for me. I don't even, to be honest with you, really know if I want to. Well, I'll probably include them in here because every time I do, people are like, oh my God, the editing. So this came up on my not my Facebook. This came up on my YouTube, actually. Not my, because I don't get on TikTok. I don't look over there unless somebody sends me over there. I looked today because I wanted to go and look and see what she had posted. So this came up, recommended to me on YouTube. So here you go.
AI is starting to look more and more human-like, and humans are starting to look more and more artificial-like. So now when I see a video of somebody promoting something, I don't know if it's them. I genuinely don't. I just saw a video of Tati Westbrook promoting some type of laser hair removal tool. It had 35 likes and 0 comments. I don't know if that was her. Tati, was that you?
Okay, so it's this TikTok of Gabby Hannah, like you just watched, talking about, she saw this thing come up of Tati Westbrook selling a bunch of stuff. Now, I thought it was shade at Tati Westbrook. Now, this TikTok is from July, okay? I went back and I looked on her TikTok. It came out on like July 7th or July 11th or something like that. It was interesting because when I watched it, after having just done this video, I don't know, a couple weeks ago about Gabby Hannah's apology, which we're going to talk about in just a second. Hold your horses. Hold your horses. Don't let them bolt. We're going to talk about the apology video that I completely missed the mark on. Okay, we're going to talk about it in just a second. So anyway, I did this apology video a couple weeks ago, you know? And so it was interesting because, I talked about her apology video. It was interesting because I looked back and when I watched this TikTok, and I was like, did anybody have the same take as me? Because, you know, often I can reach sometimes, you know. It was like yesterday, people, I did this video yesterday about how Bath & Body Works put out this candle that people are saying is, and that it is racist because it looks like it has KKK Klansmen on the wrapper around it. And people are like, Peter, this is such a reach. I can't believe, I mean, there's a few, not many. A lot of people, like, saw it. But anyway, A couple people were like, Peter, like, you're borrowing trouble again. I'm like, I literally read where everybody else was talking about it, okay? 4 people sent it to me. I'm just reporting on it. Don't shoot the messenger. You know what I'm saying? Peter, you're reaching. Peter, you're borrowing trouble. So I'm always accused of that, right? You know, so anyway. So when I watched this, my initial reach, okay, not reach around, but a reach, my initial reach was, is she shading Tati Westbrook? Because this was around the time that Tati Westbrook started doing those QVC lives, okay? So I really thought it was Gabbie, like old school Gabbie, being shady to Tati Westbrook, basically saying, it can't possibly be Tati Westbrook selling some shit online and not having anybody in her live stream. She's only got like 35 people, so it has to be AI, because it can't possibly be. I thought it was like very much like shade towards Tati, right? So I was like, I went and I read the comments underneath here, and there was like one comment that somebody said something about, even Tati mentioned that Tati's going live all the time, like on the YouTube. She was on like live on YouTube just like last night or the night before. And I'm like, I thought you were doing this on the TikTok. Now, why are you taking it over to the YouTube? Can somebody explain that to me? I'm very confused. Why Tati Westbrook, this is about Gabby Hannah today. But just as a side note, maybe I'll make that video. I'm confused as to why she was doing all this live stuff. Why is she just wanting to go live all the time? I'm confused about this, okay? I don't understand it. I mean, she just tries products. Is she like selling? So anyway, I guess I could go in and look right now. But I went and I read the comments on it. Let's look at Miss Tati here for a second. Is she posting these lives? Tati Westbrook. I saw that she was live. Here it says streamed 1 day ago, 5,000 views. I don't think, oh my God. 3 hours, oh no, I was like, is that from a day ago? It was 3 hours ago. She has 9.4 thousand views. I used to love them. How to Not Ruin Your Makeup, 60. She's still getting pretty good views. 10 products I'll never buy again, 7 days. Oh, she's not posting as much as she was. But this was on here yesterday. So she went live for 50 minutes. Hi, it's Tati. I'm live again. And she's showing all these products, okay? I kind of live that she's in her live era. But somebody commented and said, Tati's already come out and said that there's not a lot of people that are watching her live streams, okay? Live streams are time consuming and they are a lot of energy and you have to be focused a lot on what's going on. So if you're not getting a lot out of it, don't be, I had a friend of mine years ago, like 25 years ago, that was like an image consultant or something for a company. And so I said, what's your best piece of advice you've ever given somebody? And she said, don't put more energy into something, figure out what you're putting the most energy into that you're getting the least out of, and don't do that anymore. I was like, okay. Now in retrospect, I'm like, does that mean I should just stop my drama channel? So anyway, I'm reading all the comments. I think there was like 8. Gabby Hannah calling somebody out, but her TikTok or short on YouTube got like 8 comments on it. I think it was a re-upload. And people were like, oh, Tati's already come out and said that she's not really getting that many views and stuff, right? And I'm like, oh, okay. So then, I went over to the TikTok to see if she had it on her TikTok, her schmick-schmock, as Tati Westbrook calls it, if Gabby Hannah had it up on her schmick-schmock. So Gabby Hannah has it up on her TikTok, and all these people underneath there, it was interesting to me, the comments, people are like, when you go over there and you read about it, hold on a second, let me pull up the TikTok, oh, here it is, I have it right here. So when you pull up the TikTok, the comments has 79.2 thousand likes on it. Somebody said, this is actually AI trying to gaslight us. They're talking about Gabby Hannah, okay? Like, they're saying, is she AI? Girl, I haven't seen one of your videos in years, thought this was an AI video. Wait, no, I know exactly what you're talking about. I was so confused. She came out of nowhere. Tati, what are you doing? Somebody said, why does this look like... So it's all these things about AI, okay? And I'm like, oh, I was like, this is weird. So now she comes out with this apology after all this, and she just doing these random videos again? So I go up here to look, because I wanted to see what her most recent video was, okay? And she's got 3 pinned ones at the top. But I noticed her second most recent one was the apology TikTok, okay? And then I noticed that her most recent one is from September 18. Save this post so we can reconvene when the time comes. And it's this one, okay? So I'm going to play this for you right now, and I want to see what you guys have to say. So here you go.
Not to be dramatic, but I feel like we're 5 seconds away from a government-staged alien attack where they create one world order so that it's us against the aliens instead of us against the government. And then they can better control us because we all think that the government is the only protection we have against the aliens. But when that comes, don't freak out. Come back to this post, have a conversation in the chat, and we'll decide where to go from there.
His editing is fine. His editing is nasty. I have such great editing skills, don't I? So anyway, I'm watching this, and I'm reading underneath in the comments. Hold on a second, let me straighten you up a little. There you go. Get back in your high chair. Okay. So I'm reading these comments underneath here, and there's like 5,400 comments, and somebody said, did anyone else come here to see if they were blocked? I don't know why people are saying this. Exactly why I'm here, yes, for real. Somebody said, I wasn't blocked. Somebody said, I came here for there too. Dude, I just came here too, and there's nothing since the post. So somebody's talking about something to do with the being blocked. Somebody said, I'm not blocked. Me neither. I'm trying to get blocked. I don't understand what this is about being blocked. Why are people talking about this being blocked thing? Can somebody please explain that to me? I don't keep up with it yet. So did she go on a podcast and say, so I'm not blocked? Somebody said, same besties, why are we checking if you're blocked? And somebody said, people say they got blocked for no reason by Gabbie. So apparently Gabbie is blocking people for no reason, apparently. Somebody said, I'm not blocked, squad. Here, somebody said, yes. I'm only here to see if I was blocked. Somebody said, yay, not blocked yet, but I'm hoping. Somebody said, me too, fingers crossed, girl same. Thankfully, I'm not blocked. But then somebody says underneath her, and I thought this was interesting. Oh, okay, or oh no, Gabbie, not again. I mean, yes, you should tell a family member you trust a lot. And underneath here, people are saying, seeing this today and thinking the same. I hope this is just a random thought and not an episode. And so people are worried about Gabby Hannah's mental health again. What's interesting to me about this is that this was posted on the 18th of September, and she hasn't posted anything since then, and it is the 10th of October, okay? So I went over to her Instagram, and I looked to see what her last post on Instagram was, and it was from September 26th, and it was this little thing right here that says, if the world hates you, remember it hated me first. The world would love you as one of its own. This is like this very Christian thing, okay? But the last one before that, excuse me, is her apology video that she came out and posted, okay? So, before I get into this, I want to address my reaction to Gabby Hannah's apology video. Okay, so several weeks ago, I did a reaction to Gabby Hannah's apology that she came out. She came out, this is just a clip of what it looks like. She's sitting on the ground, and she says she needs to issue an apology, okay? So, I'm not going to make any excuses. I completely missed the mark on that video. Completely missed the mark, okay? But I do kind of want to explain my point of view of where I'm coming from, even though I missed the mark. Because I tried to so when I read the comments underneath there, I didn't really, to be honest with you, I feel like Gabby Hannah is kind of like a polarizing figure to talk about. I mean, a lot of people that I talk about are polarizing, but it's like, if you come for her, people are like, her mental health is in check. Like, she even said on one of her things a while ago, like, you can't come for me because I have mental health issues and whatever. So it's like, I feel like if you criticize Gabby, then people are like being like, you're not kind, whatever. If you don't come for her hard enough, people are like, you're not holding her accountable. I feel like that's been the way with Gabby Hannah for probably like the last 2 to 3 years, okay? So that's the number one thing. The number two thing is that out of a lot of the people that I have covered, very rarely do they ever come out with a full-fledged, like, apology. Now, a lot of people in this were saying, so basically what I said was, okay, I think this is great that she sat down and she made an apology, and that, you know, yeah, it wasn't specific, but she came out and she said, and I said in the video, I said, it's not my apology to accept or not to accept, but I said, you know, at least she's addressing something and whatever. This is the thing, okay? Gabby Hannah has been such a lost soul for so long, and in all honesty, now, I'm like, I have no clue. Like, I really don't. You know, I mean, we live in the world of Nikocado Avocado where you don't know what's real and what's not real. And I'll be really honest with you. Like, in the past, she'd go missing for a while. She'd come back. She'd talk about something. I mean, she's literally the girl who cries wolf, okay? I hope she's doing okay. I'm just going to put this out there. I hope she's doing okay. If she needs help, I hope she gets help. If she needs to be surrounded by people, I hope she's surrounded by people. I do not know what is going on with Gabby Hannah. Gabby Hannah might be one of the biggest mysteries on YouTube and TikTok, Instagram, whatever. I don't understand her at all. You know, in the past, she'd say, I'm not doing this for drama or to release a song. And then she'd do all this drama, and then she'd release a song. Even in the apology video, she said she was going to be better about her merch and stuff like that, and she used it as a selling point. So, the thing is that I've always kind of like, there's been a part of me that felt bad for Gabby, and so, kind of, I don't know. I don't know what to think about Gabby Hannah. So, when she came out with this apology video, And I thought she had been gone for this long time. I was like, okay, well, this is kind of a move in the right direction and whatever. And I just got eaten alive in the comment sections. And I want to say rightfully so. You guys were right. And people sent me to Rachel Oates' video, and people sent me to other people's videos, and people sent me to other people's commentary. And I watched those videos because when you guys point things out to me, I want to educate myself. And when I'm wrong, I want to admit it. And I was wrong, okay? But this is also the other, I was wrong, period. The other point that I want to make, though, is in the realm of doing apology videos or covering apology videos, Laura Lee's apology video, okay, that will always be infamous. Shane Dawson's apology video, Jeffree Star's numerous apology videos, okay? Trisha Paytas having to pick and find, oh, I apologize to somebody at 3 minutes and 19 seconds of a mukbang. I apologize to somebody else at 17 minutes and 10 seconds of a drive-thru at McDonald's, and people call that an apology. Of all these years of apologies, it's very rarely that somebody sits down with a notebook, and I'm not defending Gabby Hannah, okay? I think Gabby Hannah, I've said it for a long time, okay? Before anybody said it in my comment section, I had said it for years, that Gabby Hannah needed to come out and do specific apologies to Jessie Smiles, okay? I'm not a huge Joey Graceffa and Daniel Prada fan, but I thought she needed to apologize to them. I thought she needed to apologize. Anyway, so I've said that for years and years and years, right? All these people that she needs to apologize. But in that video, I said, you know, she kind of just says, if you have an issue with me, I apologize to you, we're good, right? And a lot of people are like, no, she needs to make specific apologies. And I think that we live in this world where it's interesting to me. Okay, this is where I think super fandom comes into play a little bit. It's like with Shane Dawson was never expected to come out and make specific apologies to people, okay? This is what's so weird to me about this whole world that I live in, right, or that I cover, is that Shane Dawson comes out and just apologizes for all this shit he says, and there's a lot of people that left for good, okay? But then there's a few people that are super fans, and people get so upset about that word. You should own that word. If you're a super fan and you will defend somebody and say anything about them at any expense, if you ride that hard for somebody, you ought to be the proudest person in the entire world. You should wear their merch every day. You should change your name to Judy Shane Dawson Smith. You should be so proud of that, okay? You shouldn't be offended by the word super fan. If somebody said you're a super fan of Stevie Nicks, I'd say the fuck yes I am. I love that woman. I love that woman with every bit of my heart, okay? If she does something problematic, we'll look at it. But I love Stevie Nicks. Are you a super fan? 100% I'm a super fan. I don't know that I'd ride as hard as some of these people, but you should own that term, right? But what's so weird to me is that it's like, with Shane Dawson to the super fans, like that apology is enough, right? With Trisha Paytas, it's like she puts bits and pieces out here, has never addressed the countless shit things she's done, the numerous communities she's offended, the people that she's hurt. She's never come out and done one, and I've said that for years. People still are like, you don't hold Trisha accountable. I've said it in so many videos. She ain't gonna do it, okay? That she needs to sit down in a dedicated video. You know, people still make excuses for Trisha Paytas, you know? So, I don't know what to say about that. People make excuses for Jeffree Star, you know? And I think that when I looked at this situation with Gabby Hannah, I'm just trying to explain where I was at, okay? When I looked at it at Gabby Hannah, it felt like so much more than what a lot of these people had done. That she sat down with a notebook and whatever. In retrospect, after a lot of you guys pointed this out to me, and just because I say something in a video doesn't mean that I'm not 100% fucking wrong. I get things wrong a lot. I don't have any problem coming on here and admitting it. And after watching the videos, you know, and thinking about Jessie Smiles and all that kind of stuff, I was like, you know what? I've said it about Shane Dawson. I've said it about Jeffree Star. I've said it about Trisha Paytas, and the people in the comments are 100% right. She owes a specific apology to these people. This is her out to try to say, I'm clearing the area, I want to come back, and please accept me back on the playground, okay? Well, that's not good enough. I think, you know, even 3 to 4 years ago, people were willing to accept less of an apology. I mean, even the Laura Lee crying in her, you know, hoodie, it wasn't really much of an apology, if you look back at it. The Jeffree Star, very scripted apologies on his couch, okay? They're not really very specific apologies. Shane Dawson's apology isn't very specific. Now, James Charles' apology that people want to forget all the time, okay, to his 2 victims, that was a very specific apology, but he took that down. So when we talk about these apologies, I think it's interesting what we should expect and what do we want from the YouTubers and the influencers. Do we want specific apologies across the board? Oh, there's little Boo Radley. Do we want specific apologies across the board? what do we want, right? Like, or do we want people to just blatantly go over it? Or do we allow our super fandom to come in the way of how we're feeling about something, you know? Let me go check in with him for just a second. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Took him outside. He's now downstairs eating some dinner. Little Boo Radley made an appearance in my vlog yesterday. So, little appearance for the vlog. But what I was saying was, like, when we're looking at apologies, I think that we need to discuss all this. You know, we need to discuss about, I mean, you know, it's interesting to me that, you know, I've been on YouTube for 8 years now doing drama commentary. And there was a period around 2016, 2018 where bias among drama commentary channels was a huge discussion. And I think, in all honesty, probably rightfully so. I think it was a discussion that we needed to be having at that time. You know, we really needed to be discussing bias. And I'm not just talking about PR, okay? I'm talking about who are we talking to behind the scenes, who is in our ear, who is inviting us to do videos and whatever. Well, flash forward, you know, 5 or 6 years, we're kind of seeing a repeat of that. And it's surprising to me that people aren't kind of catching on, that we're seeing people go on podcasts and doing collaborations with people, and that people aren't getting called out for bias the way that we were back in the day. I mean, how can you report on anything authentically in that realm that that person has anything to do? I mean, back in the day, literally, my comments would be flooded. You have got to disclose your bias. If you're going to do a video, you have got to get in a video and disclose your bias. And now we see people that are doing full interviews and collaborations and hanging out and going to parties with these people. And I'm like, this would not have flown for our community back in the day. Well, it's become a bit of a money machine, I think, to some degree, right? But I think also the other part of that is that I think what started to become into question was the bias of the audience, the bias of the viewer. One of the things that's interesting to me is, like, let's say if I make a video, since I already talked about Shane Dawson, that I'll talk about Shane Dawson, I'll get somebody that comments on my videos. Like, I notice when people start, I mean, I read all the comments on all my channels, okay? I know I don't respond to many of them, but I read every comment that I get on every single one of my channels. So you kind of can kind of tell a tone with some people, or that people always leave kind of like, you know, really, like Diana always leaves like all these emojis, and she's like, we're on the front porch, and you kind of just remember people after a while, you know? And so, I mean, it's not like I get 10,000 comments on my videos, you know what I mean? So you kind of remember people after a while. Well, what's interesting is that, like, if I make a video about Shane Dawson, and let's just say somebody will say, you're so jealous of Shane, you ride so hard for Shane, you're so cruel to Shane, right? And then I'll look, and I'll be like, I'll look at their past comments, and it's like every video that I make about Shane Dawson, it's like they are really hard on me about Shane Dawson. But then if I'm talking about, like, Tati Westbrook, they're like, you didn't point out the fact that, I mean, they're like cutthroat. And I'm like, okay, so you want me to be kinder to Shane Dawson, but meaner to Tati Westbrook, okay? So that's obviously the bias that's at play, right? Like, that bias is at play. And I think that that's something that I think that word has such a negative connotation in our society, this word of bias, right? That we don't really want to talk about the fact that we're biased towards or against something, right? That we don't want to talk about this bias that we might have in going into something. I think that when we talk about situations like Gabby Hannah and how she's hurt people, okay? I think we're bringing our personal stories into that as well. And I'm not excusing her at all. I think in retrospect, my video covering her apology video completely missed the mark. I think that what happened was, I've lived very long in this community of very little appropriate apologies, hoping that we would get better apologies, and we never have. Hoping that we would get more specific apologies from Trisha Paytas, and she never has. Trisha Paytas can say she's changed all she wants, but Trisha Paytas has never gotten in a dedicated video and done a dedicated apology. Neither has Jeffree Star. Neither has Shane Dawson. Neither has any of these people. Okay? So when I see this video from Gabby Hannah, and it's been the first apology video in a long time, I don't know. It was kind of like, okay, it was a moment where I was like, well, it's something. And isn't that sad that we live in a world where we're willing to accept, you know, the low end of the barrel, you know? And I think that's what happened. And when I got all these comments, you know, when I read a lot of comments, and it's like the comments are flooded with, Peter, like, you missed the mark on this. You need to go watch this video. I was like, well, I missed the mark on this video. And I fully admit to that, okay? And I apologize for not fully doing my research before I got into that video and doing it. I do think that Gabby Hannah needs to come out and do a full, very specific apology video to people. You know, in that video, I said something to the effect of how could she possibly come out and do all that? Well, maybe not come out and try to do something until you can do it all. I don't know. Or make dedicated videos or reach out to that people. And people were like, well, we don't know that she didn't reach out to those people. When I went to her TikTok, I thought her TikTok was interesting. What people were put on her Instagram. When you go over to her Instagram, the video that she has posted of her apology, the comments underneath there, Gabby Hannah is obviously not deleting these comments. When you go underneath there, the comments, people say, people immediately dismiss growth if religion is attached to it. Don't let that stop you, please. People are like, I agree, blah, blah, blah. Somebody said, but she didn't grow. She hasn't apologized to anyone who she's hurt by name or in private. And because people have come out now and said that she never reached out to them in private. And she is shaming other women and putting people down. How is that growth? Somebody said, like, she actually ruined a woman's life and does not mention it at all in this video. Somebody said, I'm watching on mute. Can somebody let me know if she's still having her religious psychosis, or is she okay now? Somebody said, you owe Rachel Oates an apology, a real one. You set her up and played the victim. Take accountability for once in your life. There are 20 replies to this. I'm reading these straight down. Fake apology. It goes on and on. If you could be a good person without religion, if you can't be a good person without religion, you're not a good person. I actually really like that statement. Somebody said, best apology on the internet. Somebody said, right up there with Laura Lee's. Somebody said, the bar is underground, huh? And somebody said, considering YouTuber apologies are so shit, yes, the bar is low, but this is way above the bar. When people apologize, they make it about themselves. Yes, she talks about herself a bit in this, but her apologies to people are genuine and isn't blaming them for being shitty people because they weren't. Please name another YouTuber whose apology is better than this, and I will watch it. And I think that's an interesting statement. I think of the people that we know and that most drama channels cover, there really aren't that many great apology videos at all that have ever been done, you know? I don't know that I think that in retrospect, and I think that where this person is commenting is exactly where I was when I made the video, and I don't think that's an okay stance. I don't think, like, when the person says, how far has the bar has dropped, is it underground? Like, is the bar so low for what we accept for apologies and accountability that we're willing to accept a shit apology? And I think that that's where I was. I think I was willing to accept a shit apology, right? That she's not going to come out and apologize to people specifically. And so then I'm like, well, if you're going to do it, if you're going to come out and do this, in retrospect, now I'm seeing what other people saw. Why don't you do it fully? Like, why don't you come out and fully make the apology? You know, I don't understand in retrospect. And I think that that's the sad thing, is that we've got to a point where there were so many bullshit. Oh my God, my battery is dying now. Hold on, I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. So many things going on in this video. Is this the universe telling me that I'm missing the mark on this video too? I don't care. I feel like I need to say these things. So, you know, it's like, in looking at all these apology videos, all these apology videos are kind of shit, right? When you look back at them. And really the starting of them was with Laura Lee. And like I said, if you go back and look at Laura Lee's apology video, it's really not that great of an apology video, which is why everybody laughed to begin with. But since then, we've been saturated. We've been saturated with apology videos. So this is what I think is going to happen going forward, right? So when this person comes out and says, considering YouTuber apologies are so shit, which I agree with, yes, the bar is low, but this is way above the bar. When people apologize, they make it about themselves. Yes, she talks about herself a bit in this, but her apologies to people are genuine and isn't blaming them. And so somebody says below here, you got to apologize to Rachel Oates. Somebody said, me, myself, and I, me, I, me. Somebody said, I've always thought vague apologies are worthless. You hurt specific people and need to say as much. Somebody said, this apology is way better than Colleen, to be honest. Well, I think that's interesting that you bring up that apology. What apology? From Colleen Ballinger. The High video? Colleen Ballinger has never put out an apology video. I think that this is interesting, okay? This response from, that people are giving to Gabby Hannah. This is why I think it's interesting, okay? That in the 8 years that I've been on YouTube, and I've seen the rise and the fall, okay, of YouTuber apologies or lack of apologies, when I look back on it and I see that it started with Laura Lee back in the day, and then we got like Jeffree Star, and then several Jeffree Stars, and then James Charles, and Shane Dawson, and Tati Westbrook, and on and on and on. We've had all these YouTuber apologies, right? To the point of where it's just been lost in the shuffle. And I think it's been so saturated with these they call them the gray hoodie apologies. It's just ridiculous, right? These gray hoodie apologies are ridiculous. To the point now that somebody even says this is better than Colleen's apology. Colleen never came out and apologized. So I think it's interesting, this reaction that people are giving to Gabby Hannah, that no, this is not good enough, that you need to come out with a more specific apology. I think the pendulum might be switching. I think the pendulum might be switching back the other way to where people are going to hold people accountable again for their lack of an apology. I think people got so saturated for so long with all these apologies coming out, and and people were just willing. I mean, the thing is that you know, okay, when I talk about grief, I talk about, like, people ask me a lot about grief, having lost my mom and, you know, several friends of mine and dogs and things like that. People have asked me and my aunt and uncle about grief, like how to deal with grief. Because grief is something I talk a lot about on my vlog and on my Peterson's channel. And I say, you know, grief is so specifically different to each person. Like, just because I lost my mom does not mean that if I talk to Sally Jones and Sally Jones lost her mom, that our grief is similar. A lot of it has to do, what age were you when you lost your mom? How old was your mother? What was the condition of your relationship your whole life? What was the condition of your relationship at the end? Did you have things that you wanted to say that you didn't get to say? Were you guys fighting at the end? Were things good? Did they end tragically, or did it end like I did, standing over my mother in a hospital room, being able to say goodbye? I think all of those factors play into the specificality and the difference of how a person grieves. Each person's grief is completely different. Well, when you look at this with the apologies, I think to some degree, it's kind of similar with that. When Jeffree Star put out an apology, okay, he put out his apologies at very deliberate times when people were going to listen to what he had to say. And they're very staged, like this. I mean, it's interesting to me that Laura Lee gets eaten alive for this great hoodie apology, but Jeffree Star, if you look at his thumbnail, I mean, they're very staged, right? And so, but his super fans, and he knew it, he was only doing those apologies to his super fans that were going to accept it. Shane Dawson did his apology during the middle of his cancellation, so he was eaten alive. Laura Lee did hers during the middle of her cancellation, so she was eaten alive. Gabby Hannah got to pick the time that she came out with her apology, okay? She picked the time. It wasn't up to the people that she hurt that she came out and apologized. It wasn't on their time. It wasn't on their paying schedule. Gabby Hannah got to sit down in a field with a book. And this was something in retrospect, looking at all these apologies, that I really thought about. It doesn't much feel like an apology, okay? It doesn't much feel like you're taking accountability when you come out on your terms and do it when you want to, when it feels right to you, okay? It doesn't really seem to me that you really care about the other person that you've hurt or that you've offended, that you're coming out on your terms. It also doesn't seem like it matters when you're coming out as a save your ass moment during the cancellation, you know? So it's interesting to me. I think all of these different cases are so specific and so completely different. But I do see that the pendulum is switching, and I think that people are going to start holding people more accountable for their lack of apologies or coming out with shit apologies like this. I think this apology hurt Gabby Hannah more than it helped her. I think that's why she's not posting, okay? When you look at the timeline of her posting, she posted the apology video, hold on a second, on, where was this at? On September 11th. Then she came back out on September 26th. Well, the last TikTok that she posted, like I said, was on September 18th, okay? So the last time that she's posting anything is September 26th, and it's a very religious art piece, okay? Then she comes out with this alien piece on September 18th before that, and that's the last we've heard of Gabby Hannah. Well, in retrospect, this is kind of how, and I hope she's well. Like I said, I hope she's well. But historically, this is how Gabby Hannah kind of acts. When she gets caught in a scandal that she doesn't know what to do, she goes into all this so that people don't know what's going on, right? And then it's a deflection tactic because people kind of forget the scandal that she got herself in, which this time is a shitty apology that I completely missed the mark on. And I do want to say, to those people out there that said it kindly to me, but informed me directly, I really appreciate you guys letting me know. And I'm glad that I did more research on it. And she does need to come out and specifically apologize to numerous people. So anyway, let me know what you think about all that in the comment section below. I love you guys, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.